take a break, aka patch break content. But we're on the new patch, so we don't have to wait. Archon, it's good you're come. I have news you must be made aware of. Alas, none of it bodes well for us, nor for Une, Daga, and Nero imprisoned in the Dark Realm. Think back upon our last foray into Circus Tower, if you will. The calamity stirred the place from its long slumber and awoke Emperor Zonde. But you, Archon, you ensured me it was laid to rest permanently. Yet the Emperor had sealed a binding covenant with the terrible void scent known as the Cloud of Darkness. Even as Doga and Une labored to annul this contract, the entity reached through a rift and dragged the pair of them, and Nero, out of our realm. Since that day, Noah has devoted itself to rescuing Une, Doga, and Nero from beyond the rift. Our research, however, has exposed a far more dire problem. Crystal's tower still acts upon Zonde's orders, and collects energy to open another void gate even as we speak. Indeed, the place nigh hums with energy. We've done all we can to stop the Imperial Edict, but to no avail. Just as the gate would only open for Une and Doga, so too would the tower heed only those with the royal blood of Alag. It is a most galling design. Granted, this was not always so vexatious according to the elegant tombstone Nero presented us. During the golden age of Alag, the royalty had some means of bestowing their blood upon others. If they hadn't such technology, Amon and his underlings could never have controlled the Crystal Tower. But we do not have either this art or any with royal blood. Every moment we wait, a vast rift through which the Cloud of Darkness can enter our realm threatens to open. Such a disaster cannot be allowed to come to pass. We must seal the Crystal Tower and annul Zonde's covenant with the Dark Realm. If only breaking the latter would suffice. But then what of the energy building the Crystal Tower? Without suppression, that power could discharge and cause a calamity like to the one that destroyed Alag. In truth, we have more than just 3 lost compatriots to worry about. If we do not act, our very world will fall before the might of this threat. We know one way out of this predicament. Rescue those who can control the tower from beyond the Dark Realm, and seal the rift shut after them. And mercifully, not all our news is quite so bleak. 'Tis true we cannot stop the Void Gate from manifesting within the tower, but this can be to our benefit. We can use Circus's power for our own purposes, and create a portal to carry us into the Dark Realm. We have heard this is possible from a man in the Thaumaturge's Guild well versed in otherworldly matters. And with Master Garland working to create said portal, the finer preparations are well underway. Aye, and here comes the man himself. Archon, just the man we need. Yes, our fellowship is indeed complete, and all parties privy to our strategy. And you, Master Garland? How fare your endeavors? Quite well. The device is nearly ready, though attaching the damnable thing to Circus Tower took every ounce of ingenuity the Ironworks has got, but it should produce the energy we need. With just a little more fine-tuning, we can open a rift. I'm here to request your presence at the tower. I'll leave Biggs and Wedge at the 8 Sentinels as guides. And do hurry, Archon. Sure you wouldn't miss another chance to save the world, would you? Well, Sid certainly seems to have a firm hand on the helm. Shall we make our way to the Crystal Tower? To the Crystal Tower. It's always weird how many people are hanging around back here. And the only reason to be back here is these quests. Rock on, I bet you're here to watch us pry open a rift between worlds, eh? Almost ready. Circus Tower is full of engineers scurrying around and making adjustments. We're dealing with a lot of power, and if a single coupling's off, well, boom. But it should be fine. Really. Anyway, you'd best wait at the top. The chief's been overseeing the whole operation. Friends, you've arrived. I'm just waiting for my engineers to give the signal. Then we'll see if we can't open a gateway to another world. Is there something amiss, Graha? Emperor Zonde's imperial throne. Oh, the mighty have fallen, eh? Once it stood as a symbol of Alag's art and power. Now it's nothing more than an empty chair. Just imagine if Alagan civilization had lived on, and a just emperor still sat on that throne. How different would our history be? How much further would we have advanced? Unfortunately, there was no stopping Zonde in his ambition. There were those who tried. Zonde's War of Dominion left no one unscathed. Unable to abide the horrors inflicted upon the people, warriors young and brave took up the sword against Alag. These men and women became as beacons of hope to those who had suffered, not unlike the warriors of light in our age. But all this merely hastened the destruction. Just as they moved towards Alag's heart for the kill, Zonde lashed out in anger and frustration, as trapped beasts are wont to do. In his desperation, Zonde desired that a great rift be opened to hasten the cloud of darkness's coming. To this end, he commanded the sun's power held within Dalamud be emptied into Circus Tower at once. The act bore terrible consequences. The tower only withstood the blast by flooding the land below with energy. Circus was swallowed by the very earth upon which it once stood. Fourth umbral calamity. I've learned of its cause from Une and Doga. I had no idea that rebellion incited Rolande to rashness, though. Knowledge of Alagan history is astounding, Graha. A man could study for 2 lifetimes and only learn half of what you know. Mayhap. 'Tis strange, though. Cannot seem to remember where I learned such things. Yes? Biggs, are you ready? Ready and raring to open up that void gate, Chief. We reckon when this machine's up and running, she'll be able to float 5 airships the size of the Agrius. So just give us the word and we'll start channeling energy into the tower. Good. Then let's get started. Preparations are complete. Everyone, step away from the throne. Alright, let's see what this machine can do. Now, Biggs. Boom. Oh, we have a gate. Ah, a rift to the world of darkness, as Une called it. Splendid work, Master Garland. Can't break out the mead just yet. The tough part's still ahead. We've broken into the Dark Realm, but the gate's not all that stable. It won't stay open forever. Only a few can use it. I, for one, will remain here to ensure the Void Gate stays open. As will the Sons of St. Koinok. This rift is our sole path to salvation. If it closes, we are truly lost. Which leaves Archon. My friend, 'tis a heavy burden I must task you with, but there are none more able. Pray lead the adventurers beyond the rift. Do not know what awaits you, save the cloud of darkness and our 3 comrades. But you must go, for the fate of our world now rests upon your shoulders. This is our only gambit, but I have every faith you will succeed. It will be no small feat to return after you have passed beyond the rift. Make certain you are prepared before leaving. Might I have a moment of your time, Archon? It is a matter of import we must needs discuss ere you leave. Can you just let me into the world of darkness to fight stuff? What do we have to chat about? Archon, I wish to speak to you about my eye. As you are no doubt aware, 'tis a trait seen only amongst Allagan royalty. Long have I pondered why such is my inheritance. The sanguine hue must have some bearing upon my destiny. This much Doga himself admitted. But what? In truth, the more I learn of the Crystal Tower, the less I am myself. Somehow, meeting those 2 clones has brought great change in me. I'm consumed with remembering something. Something ancient, but ever so important. And my father's words echo in my mind. The self-same ones his father told him. The truth of our eye rests with Allag. Mayhap what I wish to remember and these words are related. Mayhap not. But I know I must learn the truth that history hides from me. I would see this journey, our journey, through to the very end with mine own 2 eyes. So I implore you, allow me to join you beyond the rift. You have my thanks, friend. Now let us venture in the world of darkness, to save our comrades in the realm. Okay, and as before, we're going to unqueue for Circus Tower, queue for World of Darkness, and I am going to take a bio break before we head. We will be heading off to another attempt. It was Goldsmith's Guild, right? Yeah, we are queued up for it. Head to the Goldsmith's Guilds and see if we can progress this quest anymore. What's that? Momoto's hairpin, you say? That was Momoto's work. Momoruto. Well, there's a name I've not uttered in some time. Destined for greatness, that one was. Could have been the second coming of Neil Fresna. Neil? I had been with us for a scant few years when a commission came in from the Sultana herself. Slaved away at the piece day and night, till one day when he rose from his workbench and walked away. Some said the pressure of expectations grew too great to bear. Others that his heart was never in his craft to begin with. Still others said that it was a broken heart that drove him away. The guild lost a talented goldsmith, and I lost a friend. But a man's life is his to live. Last I heard, Momoruto has been passing his days as a fisherman in Crescent Cove. He's found happiness. I don't begrudge him his choice one bit. The hell is Crescent Grove? Ah, over by Horizon, Vesper Bay, that area. Hello, World of Darkness. I don't know why I'm continuing to fly over here. We're not going to get there. Just waiting for the last DPS again. There we go. Couple of mechanics that actually matter here. Right. World of Darkness is the name of the company that makes Vampire the Masquerade novels. Or the role-playing game. Seriously, a tank and a heal just left. What the shit? We got a new tank. Okay. We got new members. But someone left from that one. Whatever. Next. Of the three, World of Darkness is really the only ones with mechanics to really concern yourself with that are any level of difficulty. This one will spawn a couple of... So those locations that just lit up, there's something that will spawn there. And yeah, stacking mechanic to alternate the colors. So I hit red this time, so I'm going to want to hit white the next time. Okay. Now this is the mechanic that a lot of people don't know at all. If you do not fight, so... If you do not fight these, it kind of stops at a random point. If you kill these, when the last one's killed, that's where that'll stop. So we got white that time. Think I got hit with Doom and I'm blanking on, I think it's the same mechanic as like Sunken Temple, where you have to stand on the lit up thing to clear it. I think. Hourglasses again. People are not carrying with it because he's too low health. I missed getting doomed again, didn't I? I don't know that you really needed to resurrect me, but whatever. Do I care about either of those? I do not. Yep, stand on the lit up location to remove the Doom debuff. Same as like Sunken Temple of Karm, where the first boss dooms you and you need to stand on the platform that's lit up orange. We already fought Scylla though. This is a different Scylla. Still no Charybdis though. Great use of the limit break. Five-headed dragon. I think there's a mechanic here. I don't remember it. Heads of fire, thunder. Heads are just flailing about, apparently. Gotta kill the heads before he gets that move off. Ow. Really? Well, it's dead. Where am I in terms of... That's what I want to... Yeah, 1,000. Clear the jaws is next. See. Where's our tank? There. You gonna start it? I've been eaten. I was on it. You. And that's cleared. Okay, we are C. The three things here are adds, belly, chains, A, B, C. Alliance A focuses on picking up the adds that will show up and moving them away from everyone else. Group B will be focused, will have to go inside Cerberus at some point. Basically, they have to get eaten by him. And Group C just wails on him, and then, yeah, so I want to stay away from Gastric Juice since I'm not Alliance C. You have to pick up the chain and then... Okay, so there's chains and other portions of the arena you need to pick up and bring to him. Someone else in our party took care of it. Closing in on it, someone just used a limit break. There. That's Cerberus down, which leaves only the Cloud of Darkness. And chest feet of striking. The other one was the Demon Robe of Casting. Who disturbs the gloom? Ah, mortals from the realm of light. I am the cloud of darkness. What I do not smother, I devour. What I cannot devour, I destroy. The covenant is everlasting. All mortals before the flood of darkness will sink lifeless into the void. Are we going? Kind of weird how in the tower, in the Crystal Tower, all of the final bosses are actually like simpler mechanic-wise than the bosses before them. Dark clouds are spawning. If you're ranged, focus them. But otherwise, I'm just gonna sit over here and wail on the boss. Darkness take you all. Darkness all is one. Be it hope or despair, everything is mine to devour. I really should be dodging that. Someone wanted big PP. Let the sun shine in. And that is World of Darkness. So time for the remainder of the Crystal Tower cutscenes. Everyone... Oh, I probably got the other item I rolled on. got? Nope. 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 Off of darkness, please? Probably not. We'll roll for the orchestrion roll things. No, I got the buff of... Okay, I got the buff of darkness with that crappy a roll. Also got the cloud of darkness card. Where in the seven hells are they? Without them to stem the energy in the tower, our defeat of the cloud aids us our cause little. Doge, Unai, can you hear me? Nero! Must you be so infernally loud? Are you so keen to attract more void scent? Though I don't blame you for missing my company. I think the 12, are you alright? He's purple! I don't think he's supposed to be that color. As alright as can be expected, Unai has simply passed out. Nero, by the gods, what's happened to you? Alas, his wounds were too deep and allowed this foul place to entry to his body. Now the darkness claws at the other of his very form. Would that we could have protected him. The cloud of darkness was bound by Xander's unholy covenant to bring prosperity to Allagan royalty. The same blood that sealed this contract gives us a measure of protection. I say a measure, for this vow does not protect us from other void scent. The cloud imprisoned us here precisely to unleash fiends upon us. We would be dead had Nero not defended us so valiantly. Mistake not my actions for kindness. I have use for you yet in Eorzea, and simply couldn't let harm befall you here. Where... Unai, you are safe. Our friends have come for us. Have they? Then perhaps, Doga, there is yet hope we may fulfill our purpose. That looks bad. Mortals, you have dared to challenge me and now must feel my wrath. Did you think to destroy me in my realm? Here I am eternal. I will smother your light and entomb your bones amongst my shadows. Truly so powerless here? As long as we fight in the cloud in this realm, I fear so. And yet, though we may not be able to destroy it, this may be our chance to stop it. If we strike now whilst the cloud can barely hold her form, mayhap we can sever Xander's covenant. Yes, and raise the bridge between the crystal tower and this foul place once and for all. Archon? Graha? You must flee. Doga mean to stay here? 'Tis madness. You must return with us. No one but you can save the world from the threat of the Crystal Tower. What? What is this trickery? Your blood. You too gain protection from Zonde's blood? Rahatia, you are possessed of royal blood. This is why the royal eye runs in your line. It is a gift you have inherited. Graha, you have been granted authority over the Crystal Tower. I had thought time would consume all of Alag that was. That a man should still live with his forebears' blood in this age can be no coincidence. Some person must have planted this gift in your line, and used the highest of Allagan technology to do so. True, the Crystal Tower is not like to recognize you as Allagan, not as you are now, but your royal eye bespeaks a simple truth. The hell? Apparently my headphones just disconnected and my phone had its volume up. Interesting. Within you dwells one feeble glitter that will illuminate all, the light of hope. But how should I use this light? Pray, tell me. Must gain control of the Crystal Tower. We'll share our blood with you, Graha. Though its effects will be but ephemeral, it will bolster the Allagan presence within you. This is our gift to you, that you may fulfill your destiny. All with the royal eye are bound by fate to Allag. Our part in this journey is to bury Zonde's dark ambitions in the past. This was the true Une and Doga's purpose, one we have carried into the future. Know that as long as this light of hope survives in you, our souls will still remain, even if our bodies are lost. We bestow upon you the gift of Allag. You're an Allagan now. Deal with it. Now both his eyes are red. You must leave us as well, Nero. Sorry we could not live up to your expectations. I must return to you what is yours, though. You dropped it whilst defending us. What you seek by this instrument may not be possible, Nero. But do not give up. There are many paths that await you. Many other paths that await you. Of course they do. Olga? Mune? I thank you. We shall never forget you. Now Archon, Nero, let us quit this place. You shall not escape me, impudent children of light. She's really firing her laser. No, you shall not escape us. Here Zonde's blood-stained dreams of glory end. There, the glint of light. This is the one time you should run into the light. It grows faint, and the bridge between realms grows fragile by the Covenant's annulment. That light dies, we're stranded here. Hurry! Nero, no! You must move! Leave me. I don't need you. If I die here, it'll be because I bloody well decided to. Failed to master darkness. I'll not suffer watching a green boy master the tower. Okay, Nero. Do what you will with it. But remember me, son of Alag. I am Nero Toskeva, the man who'll outdo Alag and Garland. That was what you hoped to... Crystal Tower again be a beacon of hope for mankind. Go, damn you. Must move onwards. This is not where I come to rest. But how did... So those damn clones did it after all. Now, onwards. Ah, you run out of time, Nero. Better chug it along. You owe me, Nero. Is it bad that I recognize the forearm? The hells I do. I just knew from the forearm that that was Sid's forearm. It's very distinctively designed and very muscly. You're returned unharmed. Thank the gods. That void gate started to close. I had never felt so powerless in all my life. We were running like madmen, trying to keep the gate open. And then the chief actually went and dived in. But if you're all Where are Une and Daga? They're not... They're in here. They're in my heart. See. I'll miss the two of them dearly, but I am happy they fulfilled their purpose. We who live on must still attend to the Crystal Tower, though we now have no one able to seal it. That is not true, my friend. Une and Daga have entrusted me with their blood. I can now control the Crystal Tower. Graha. Yes, I can see it in your eyes. Good. Then let's put an end to this and seal away the tower. I understand your instinct, Rambros, but please, give us a moment to rest. I'm weary to the bone, and Nero and Archon are both emerged from long battle. Of course, you have the right of it. Come, we shall leave this place for a spell and repair to St. Coinox's find. And I did it all in my slippers. No one but you could have succeeded in the world of darkness, Archon. Would that I could have been of more use beyond the rift. As it stands, I was but a vessel for Doga and Une's blood. Have I remembered what I wished to? Yes, something has come back to me. Gaining royal blood and witnessing true bravery has reminded me of my forebear's dearest wish. But we need not speak of these things now. It was not my place to keep you. Pray go on ahead of me. There is something small I would do before I return. Could not have asked for a better comrade. Only I could have been as part of your adventures for longer, Archon. Alas, fate dictates I have a different role to play. Graha? What are you doing? Wish hidden for millennia and brought to light by the good people of Noah. Graha! Now, finally, 'tis my dream to see it realized. Graha! Graha, what the hell are you doing? Back to St. Coinox's find. Cannot express how glad I am you returned safely, Archon, with the means to dispel the threat of the Crystal Tower for good. Rest if you will, and then let us free ourselves from the specter of the Alligans. I trust you have rested, my friend. Good. I wish to seal the tower now. There is something we must do first. Let me summon the others and hear in full what happened beyond the rift. So the Allagan eye that runs in Graha's line does mean that royal blood flows in his veins? Suppose it is not so odd to think his forebears gained it via ancient technology. But who imbued his family with the blood, and for what purpose? Mayhap all this was fate, from discovering the tower to Graha gaining Une and Doga's blood. Has Graha said anything? For that matter, where is Graha? And what of Nero? I'm not sure about our resident historian, but Nero left the tower with me. Where he has vanished to since, I cannot say. But knowing him as I do, I don't believe he'll scheme against us for the time being. Though he is still Nero. Archon, you said Graha stayed behind at the Crystal Tower. Wonder if he even now prepares to seal the place off. Master Ambrose! Master Ambrose! 'Tis Graha Tia, sir. He came into the Crystal Tower and began ordering researchers out. What? Why would he do such a thing? I do not know, sir, but he was quite insistent. He all but bodily forced me out of the gates. Suppose it's possible he told one of the others, but I wasted no time in finding out. Thought it best to hasten here and ask your guidance. Very well. Let us go and speak with these researchers and get to the bottom of this queer business. Master Garland, Archon, please come with me. No doubt Graha means to seal off the Crystal Tower, but it worries me that he did not breathe a word of this plan to us. Probably assumed you wouldn't like his plan. Graha, you little shit, what are you up to? What in the world is Graha thinking? Demanding we leave the tower. No doubt you want to know why. I wish I knew that myself. Of course he would tell me nothing, but he will be honest with you, sir. I'm certain of it. Go no further, my friends. The doors will close ere long. So you are of a mind to seal the tower, Graha? I know time is of the essence, but all I ask is a hint of your plan. Please come here so we can discuss this. No, my apologies, but I cannot. Come, man, what is this nonsense? Thought is amiss, surely we can help. Not this time, my friend. Just as Une and Doga fulfilled their destiny, so too must I fulfill mine. My blood has awakened me to this fact. As my father told me, the truth always lay with Allag, or rather, 'twas there that the wish I must grant was born. You see, not all the world perished in Xande's calamity. Survivors stood amidst the ruins of Allag, looking to the Crystal Tower, but it was nowhere to be seen. Yet they hoped its spires would again dominate the land, and prayed that the Crystal Tower would be a beacon of hope to people everywhere. Word of this soon reached the only member of Allag's royalty to outlive the Empire, the Princess Selena. Selena was moved by the people's dearest wish. She used the very best of Allag's technology to give her blood and memories to he whom she trusted most. That man was my forebearer. For millennia we waited. Allag's art and ingenuity faded. Our royal blood grew thin. But before the last drop could vanish from the realm, the memory of all this was returned to me. And now, I must fulfill the wish of the ancients. Their tower will shine forth as a new beacon of hope. Graha, the Crystal Tower's strength poses too great a threat to Eorzea now. We would need technology as advanced as Allag's to use it correctly. As things stand, we barely understand the tower's workings. Hells, we may never fully comprehend them. 'Tis as you say, Cid. We could wait for someone, someday, to reach the same heights as Allag, but by then we have lost the royal blood and the means to control the tower. What if I do as Amon did, and put the tower into a deep sleep? What? You cannot mean that. I am deadly serious, Cid. The tower may only be used once men rival the Allagans in knowledge. I will slumber within Circus Tower until then, to greet those with the means to open the gates. Then I will guide them, and thus will the tower shine forth as the beacon of hope it was meant to be. 'Tis the only way to make the wishes of the ancients come true. The future is where my destiny awaits, but yours lies outside these doors.
Go. Create a future where hope reigns and the tragedies of the past are but memories. No one but you can accomplish such things. Nothing we say will make you change your mind, will it? Onwards to a brighter future. Won't be easy, of course, but that's exactly why we'll do it. Catch up with Alag. Just you wait. We'll cover all that lost ground before you even know it.
Well said, Wedge. It'll only be a few years before we come knocking, Graha. Then you're in for a rude awakening. You shall be witness to Noah's accomplishments. Pray keep alive our successes and forgive us our failures. And may we meet again, my friend.
"12 keep you till then, Rambros. I look forward to learning of your exploits. And you, Archon. I know history will remember you. No doubt your heroism will be the star by which I chart my course when I awake. Well, now I must rest. Calling so much has put me in the mood for sleep. Farewell, my friends. I eagerly await a future born of your courage and the ancient's wish." Damn it, Graha. Crystal Tower slumbers again, then. It's too quiet for my taste. Goodbye, Sid. Must put all this at my back. Possibility beckons, and I am bound to follow. A new dawn has come for me. I think we just need to go back to Rambros to turn that in. And that is Crystal Tower done. just Miss Sid Archon. There's much that needs his attention if he is to fulfill Graha's wishes, it seems. This is not the end of Noah, no matter how lonely St. Conach's Find has become for our friend's departure. We must all walk in different directions now. Remember that we labor for a brighter future, lit by Graha's beacon. Sealing the Crystal Tower was but the first step. Farewell, my friend. May our paths cross again. So this Olagon Catalyst was a component in a lot of late game crafting recipes. You've completed the Crystal Tower quests series, rest while championing for the main scenario, and many other adventures await you.